Howdy everyone, and welcome to another video of Strong Hands. I know it's been a while since I did a video, but I really need to show you guys my enthusiasm towards this new project that I've been following for quite a while. And the good thing is that even IXEC, that was my previous actually top one, were really enthusiastic about this project of mine as well. So what is this new top one project of me that I'm really enthusiastic about? Well, let me guys introduce you to the Nash Exchange.
So Nash is a non-custodial exchange that wants to have the speed and the user experience of the current centralized exchanges as we know it. They also have a native token called NAX that gives you between 25 and 75% of the trading fees that are generated on the exchange itself. So is Nash any good? How does it compare to the competition? What are the roadblocks and what are the negatives about this project? Let's not delay it any further and get right into it. Chapter 1. Technology and why Nash is special. The technology Nash is using is quite special. I'm sure you have all heard a lot about other decentralized exchanges, but I'm pretty sure they do not come close towards the technology that Nash brings to the table. First, let's explain what non-custodial means. I'm sure a lot of people heard about CEXs and DEXs, standing for decentralized and centralized exchanges, but what about non-custodial? To explain that, it's best to first realize that the central exchange, like Coinbase, Binance, CoinMetro even, isn't only an exchange, it's also kind of like a bank. When you purchase Bitcoin, for example, on a central exchange, they tell you that you own the Bitcoin, but in fact it is owned and held by the central exchange itself. What you possess is a promise that you have the Bitcoin, for example, but you do not hold the real thing itself. That is definitely not a vision of cryptocurrency and definitely not why Bitcoin was created altogether. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are made for the user to hold, without needing a bank to store your funds anymore. With a non-custodial exchange or with a decentralized exchange, you own the real Bitcoin in this example. The differences between non-custodial exchanges and DEXs is that DEXs are distributed or decentralized, making them working forever, whereas a non-custodial exchange can be centralized, but simply do not touch the funds of their users. Decentralized exchanges usually do not ask for KYC, knowing your customer, identification, verification stuff, where non-custodial exchanges can ask for KYC. I personally think non-custodial and decentralized exchanges both have their good sides, but they're all much better than using the current central exchanges, as funds on non-custodial and decentralized exchanges are always your own. The negative with Nash as a non-custodial exchange is they want to be 100% legal, and this currently means quite some states and some countries cannot access and use Nash. You also need to complete KYC on Nash if you want to trade above $1,000 per day. But if you decide to verify yourself on Nash, it is a very good thing that Nash does not store the KYC information themselves. They can't even see you or anyone else. No, they store it at a third party. That is a company that's really reputable and has a lot of safety measures taken in place. I will show it at the end of the video. So that's at least some level of comfort for that. The good thing about decentralized exchanges is that they don't have to ask for KYC or have the regional limitations like Nash has. But decentralized exchanges will have a harder time being approved by government regulations, and will have a harder time building relationships with real-life companies out there like fiat-rams and other banks in order to sell and buy your crypto and easy steps. So alright, now we know the difference between the exchanges. Let's check out why current decentralized exchanges, non-custodial, are not gaining any traction in the cryptocurrency space. In a central exchange, you have easier to design systems to sell and buy a digital asset. But in order for a non-custodial exchange to trade and to basically work, you have to make sure the users put their asset up for a trade and receive it back again. That means the exchange itself can never touch or get in between that somehow to have your funds, even for a second. No, it needs to be from one person to the other person. That's how simple it is. or actually not so simple. So then you understand that that is a much bigger challenge. Decentralized exchanges are fighting hard to get, for example, Bitcoin integrated, because that's where most of the volume is, but they have a really hard time to get it working. For a lot of exchanges in the decentralized world, it is a problem to have cross-chain trading. That means basically that if you want to trade Bitcoin for Ethereum, then you have two incompatible blockchains that need to trade between each other. Nash solved this, but a lot of decentralized exchanges and non-custodial exchanges have problems with this. It even gets so bad that they make half-baked solutions. For example, they have created wrapped tokens. So it basically creates, you have Bitcoin in one hand and you wrap a little paper of Ethereum around it, and then it can be traded on those Ethereum focused decentralized exchanges. But this kind of gets back to the example I've talked about earlier, where you basically have an Ethereum asset and it simply holds the promise that you hold Bitcoin with it. It's not a real thing, so it kind of destroys the whole point of decentralized exchanges, in my opinion. No, Nash allows you to buy and sell Bitcoin completely with order books. That makes it really special. Even better, it is a milestone in cryptocurrency space because it's a first. It's not a swap, no, it's completely with order books and everything working. Also, a really good thing to mention about Nash is that it feels just like using another central exchange that people are used to right now, which is a great positive. It is also good to note that even in the trading contracts, the funds remain your own, and by using a self-developed Lightning solution of Bitcoin, transactions in a Nash trading contract are for all tokens extremely fast. Furthermore, Nash is also researching into non-custodial lending and leverage trading, and wants to roll out Nash Pay soon, which is a cryptocurrency payment solutions for merchants to accept cryptocurrency in their own store. The crypto asset could immediately be converted to fiat and paid to the merchant's bank account if they wish. But the real magic of Nash Pay is the speed, meaning that it utilizes Nash's own Lightning solution of Bitcoin, for example. So payments can be sent really extremely fast, so you don't have to wait, for example, when getting a coffee, if it gets to that adoption level of course, that you only have to wait a couple of seconds and then you can walk away with your coffee. It's as simple as that. It's of course also important to note that this is theory that it works. It has to evolve to real usage, so we have to see if it all will work out. A small negative to note here is that you can't deposit into Nash trading contracts immediately, thus you will first have to send your Bitcoin, for example, into your Nash personal wallet. From there you have to transfer it to the trading contract, so you have to wait 2 times for full confirmation of the Bitcoin network in order to trade. That is not the case with central exchanges, but as soon as it's finally in the trading contract, then you can be relaxed that Nash is taking pride in the fact that it's one of the fastest exchanges in terms of order placement. Don't know the exact speeds, but they are really proud of that, so I should really list that as a pro. Lastly, in the technology aspect of this video, I would like to talk about advanced API management to manage your accounts with bots, for example. You can set withdrawal limits, deposit limits from trading contracts. You can set whitelist addresses, so they can only deposit funds into those addresses and not into something else, and set all these limits per account. This is perfect for institutional traders. Well, and combine that of course with being non-custodial, this could turn out to be a really attractive platform for those kind of people. Regulation. Nash is quite bent on sticking to regulations. They didn't even allow Europe citizens to trade the USDC stablecoin because in Europe a judge said that it is a speculation asset for Europe citizens and requires therefore a security license. No other exchange really cared about this, but Nash did. This makes Nash not so fast in allowing things and adding things because regulation can be a pain in the butt. But in the end, this road paid off as Nash now allows legal USDC trading on its platform as one of the only few in existence. I feel mixed about Nash's goal to be super compliant because it will prevent them from easy listing tokens or offer tokenized assets, etc. But on the other side, it will make sure that they are in a good light and reputation with the government. And being good with your government was a meme for a long time in cryptocurrency space. But things are turning around. For example, there are articles online that can be read where the USA and where Canada have already issued some papers on how they would prefer to see the cryptocurrency exchanges work. And they are not favored towards centralized exchanges. They really want non-custodial exchanges to take over. In terms of regulation, Nash also wants to get a security license so that they can trade securities like real estate, stocks and other assets. This would drive insane volume to Nash, but no crypto exchange by itself was able to get one of those yet. There recently has been given a license to a new team, but they do not currently offer any exchange yet. But this is good news for Nash, as there is now definitely hope for them, especially since the license was given in Liechtenstein and Nash is also placed in that country. But for now they have not chosen to pursue this license, probably not until they can get some more serious volume with the current offer on Nash, because it stays a kind of a gamble if they would really get a security license, if they would pump all that money and effort into it. The token. As I said in the intro, Nash's native token, NEX, is a token with a simple and easy to understand use case. You stake the amount of NEX that you want for the duration you want, between 1 to 24 months, and you get 25 to 75% of the dividends from the trading fees of the platform. During that duration you get your dividends paid out every day until your stake time is finished. During that staking period you cannot touch your funds, neither can the team, they will stay locked, and that's it. But because this token is a security, as it gives dividends, and Nash does not have this license yet, it is not possible to buy NEX on the Nash Exchange itself. I therefore fully recommend you to use switch.io.com to purchase your NEX tokens. It's also a decentralized exchange and works quite well. In fact, it is a competitor to Nash, I would say, and perhaps I should maybe even do a video about it later. But switch.io's decision to list a security token without actually owning a security license could bite back in their ass later. It is also a little bit more complicated in usage than Nash, but it's not too hard to understand. After you purchase your NEX tokens, you simply send them to your NEX wallet in Nash, and then you can use the Nash menu to create a stake. It's also important to mention that the current NEX price of $1 will not remain there for long if Nash's volume will pick up, because then the dividends payments go up, and yeah, the token value will obviously follow. Pros, cons and a HODL rating. I'm quite enthusiastic about Nash, as you guys have heard, and I think there is great potential, but I'm not blind for the negatives that could still make Nash turn into nothing. So let's take a honest look and see why I think that Nash is great in the huge competitive space of crypto exchanges. Let's first take a look at the positives for Nash, and hang on because there's quite a few. 1. Nash just feels like using a central exchange. There's no new learning curves. This is great because everyone who is already used to other exchanges can simply flock to Nash and it will work. 2. Nash matches the trading speed of centralized exchanges. But this needs to be proven to keep working if the servers get more traffic and load. But order speeds is, for example, something that Nash is really proud of, but no idea regarding the speeds of other exchanges. 3. Funds are always your own, and they cannot be touched by Nash or anyone else. 4. Even your passwords are protected, and they are not recoverable by Nash. They are locally encrypted, and Nash will basically get the keys from your computer or the password, and then it can calculate if it's the good password or not. 5. Verifying yourself by doing KYC is not needed if you trade below 1k US$ trading volume per day. And if you verify, it is stored at Yumio.com, which is a really secure platform that also makes sure that KYC is done properly for other companies. 6. Nash Pay with instant transactions and easy fiat conversions could gain big adoption of Bitcoin and other assets, because Nash Pay is then simply a lot faster when the funds are in the trading contracts. 7. It's liked by IXEC, and I quote them, "It's the best DEX we've ever seen." 8. Staking NEX gives you up to 75% of the trading fees. 9. Nash has shown that they always listen to the community feedback on the forum and implement changes that the users really want to see. 10. Researches into non-custodial lending and leverage trading. That would be a first in the space, and I'm really enthusiastic about such a thing. 11. Is perfectly positioned for future regulations, with the Canada and the US releasing papers that they require non-custodial exchanges for digital assets if they want to be regulated. 12. Wants to get the security trading license later, allowing Nash to trade tokenized assets and stocks. This would drive big volume to Nash, but only if they can be one of the first. 13. The last one. Nash's advanced API keys would allow bots to work with your accounts to do some secure trading, and you could put limits on them to make sure that nothing ever leaves to unsecure wallet, etc. No project is perfect, and we all have to acknowledge the bad things that can improve in a project in order to really assess for doing our research if a project is worth it for us. So, being honest, I will have to note these. So, number 1. I think Nash really needs powerful marketing in order to attract the users and sway them away from their negative views towards DEXs and non-custodial exchanges. And of course, they need powerful marketing to also gain a piece of the pie, because there's a lot of competition in cryptocurrency for exchanges. And yeah, Nash needs to get a pie of that. 2. The team is really known to always miss their given times for delivery of new updates. Really a lot. 3. Bugs that plague the exchanges. Mostly people know about the withdraw and deposit bug that your funds can get stuck. They put a dedicated engineer on that, but that was already a while ago, and still I see the issue pop up sometimes. So I really hope that's fixed soon. I should note though that even if your funds get stuck, the team always manages to fix it for you. But as a new user coming to Nash, you do not want those kind of problems. 4. Missing liquidity. This is a big problem for a lot of exchanges, not just decentralized exchanges, that they lack liquidity. People flock to Binance and Coinbase, for example, purely because they have all the liquidity they need there in order to do good trading. Nash has a pretty good start for a lot of pairs, but still not quite some things it lacks the real good liquidity. 5. Nash has a lot of competition, as I already said, but this also means that because Nash is kind of slow, they could gain on Nash in terms of competition and maybe even push Nash away and become powerful themselves. So let's hope that Nash stays unique in this cryptocurrency space in terms of technology and that not a competitor gets ahead of them. 6. The last one. Depositing and withdrawing funds to trading contracts requires another blockchain waiting period, whereas on central exchanges you only have to deposit once and then you can also immediately trade those funds. So quite confident that Nash can, in time, fix the bugs that plague the exchange, and hopeful that marketing worked out well, and considering the Bitcoin community was already quite interested in Nash, I think Nash deserves a big 8+ in my HODL rating, even though I'm aware of the large amount of competitors and the remaining challenges for Nash. Remember to always do your own research as well before you invest in anything crypto, but I hope this video may have helped you to do your own research. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful, and if you liked this video or it helped you a little bit, gain money or gain knowledge or whatsoever, maybe consider a donation. I would greatly appreciate that. You can find the addresses in the video description. So howdy, and thanks for watching.